Last year we had it at the museum, but of course with current events, we cannot be at the museum, so the best we can do is be with you on your computer or tablets right now to make this as amazing and fun and interactive and basically available to everybody today. We also want to thank Bank of America for being our sponsor for Pride Day 2020 and one of the museum's sponsors as well. All right, so today we are talking how to spin art. Now, for my younger viewers, you may not remember this, but your parents definitely do, but we used to have a fun thing called spin art when we were kids, and it was very small, and you put a piece of cardboard on top of it and it started to spin, and then you drop paint on top of it. Well, the museum has a brand new maker space and pardon me, called the Hangar, and we definitely love to make things in there. And so something that we have really just brought back from the past is the spin art itself. So I'm going to turn it over to Brady and or Alina, and they're going to talk us through how they made their spin art contraption, but then also how they use CDs and records to create amazing art. So go ahead, guys.
Okay, hello, good morning, everybody. Coming to you live from our hangar here at the Museum of Discovery and Science, and I'm going to take the camera over to our spin art table, and Alina is going to walk us through how we put together our spin art contraptions and some creative things we can do with those old CDs and records we might have laying around the house, because I know we're not buying a lot of CDs or records anymore. So I'm going to over here, and we're going to visit Alina over at our spin art table. Now, Alina, why don't you walk us through what we have here?
Hey, Brady, I'm sorry. We can't hear Alina.
Okay, hang on just a second. Let me get the...
There we are.
There you much better. Okay, go ahead.
Much better? Yeah. All right, sorry for the delay, guys. Today we're going to be having a fun, creative project, especially of making use of useless things probably lying around your house. Because who uses CDs anymore? Now, spin art might sound like a little complicated. You literally only need a handful of things. If you look, you're going to need some CDs, some paint, and a box fan inside here, and a box. So we're going to be using two types of CDs. We're going to be using big old record players at the end result. It's going to be beautiful and colorful, just like this. And we're going to be using smaller discs. Both of these have the same layout. This one has a different type of needle we attach to. So let's start with the little one. So if you come right over here, we'll talk about how
Alina,
to make...
before we get into that, can you talk about how we got the box fan to get in the box and what we did to basically create this contraption?
Yeah, well, first things first, take a look right in the box. So all you're gonna need is a box fan. A box fan is basically what you use in your house. I'm sure every Floridian has it. It's very hot down here. So you're going to have a box fan, either you're lying down, so you buy it. Don't use one you love because you're going to take it apart. So first things first, you would pull off the grill or the front face of the fan so you have the raw fan in the center. Now when you have the raw fan, you're just going to have this little nubby here. Now the reason we have the box around is because, as you can see, spin art gets very, very, very messy. So for the sake of your carpet and your clothes, please have a box. Once we take off the face, we put it inside the box, but you're probably wondering, what about those cords? Well, fear not. If you look down here, after you have your box, make sure it's big enough to fit your fan of whatever size. You cut out holes where the dial is and where the outlet cord is. Once you have those two holes, you can go ahead and put your fan and feed the wire through it and plug it in. Then you have your very own do-it-yourself spin art action. Now the next part, the actual part where we can put our CD, all you are going to need is a bottle cap, normally from those water bottles you get at 7-Eleven. And for the small CD, another small CD. So what's going to happen is if you look right in here, your fan should have a beautiful little nubby right at the front of it. What's going to happen is you are going to super glue your bottle cap to the top of the CD, and this opening you're going to glue to the top just like that. Now you have something to place our CD over, and it will hold it in place while we spin it. Now for this next part, for actually acrylic paint, you can either use it right out of the bottle, or you can put in a little condiment bottle for easier control.
Now, is that regular paint? Like, is that just regular paint I can find at home, or is that a special kind of paint?
Acrylic paint you can find really in any store. You can buy at Walmart,
like
CVS,
a craft store.
anything.
Okay,
yes.
Perfect.
But use acrylic paint, not watercolor paint, because watercolor does not hold as well as acrylic. Acrylic dries beautifully, as we can see. All right, are you guys ready to practice and see one of our spin arts in actions? In honor of Pi Day, we're going to use some primary colors to see what. So now we have our disc down here. We're going to be using a little bit of a different method. Depending on how you apply the paint will determine what your end result looks like. So for this one, what we're going to do is going to pre-apply the paint all over like that. And then you'll see the cool design that happens after we turn it on. Now what makes this work is something called centrifugal force. What's going to happen is when I turn this fan on, my red doesn't want to come out. It's okay, I like pink better anyways. There we are. What's going to happen is when we turn on our fan, centrifugal force is going to push our paint outward. It's going to make a beautiful flat pattern. It's going to get messy, that's why you want to keep it in the box. Now, once we turn this on, we are going to see the cool pattern. Now, a cool fact to get different results, depending on how fast you put it, will create different designs. If you do it really fast, splatters all over. Maybe add a little more here. And now we will turn it off. Let's see what we got here.
So just so that while you're finishing that up, so what happens is as she puts the paint on there, and you can do it one color at a time, you can do 10 colors at a time. I don't recommend 10 colors at a time because
it's going to turn to mud.
It'll turn to mud, exactly. So try to do 1 to 3 colors is a good start with CDs, so that you can then create that amazing design that she has in her hand. And these are just old CDs that mom and dad might have, brothers and sisters might have, because many, many, many years ago, we actually put music on these things.
Yes, as you can see, all the colors nicely bleed together and splat outwards. So this is our small CD. The next one we're going to do is on a bigger record. Now it's the same idea, using the exact same box fan. The only difference is the needle that we're placing our record on is going to be smaller. So if you come right over here, I can show you. We have our needle set. As you can see, it's the same idea, big box fan. But if you look at the centerpiece, it's different. It's no longer a CD, but instead it is actually a cork that's hot glued or super glued down onto the face of our fan. And you can use this with a pencil, you can do this with a skewer. You just want it big enough to fit through the little hole of the CD. If you have wine bottles or you just buy corks themselves, you just stick a pencil through it and it'll work.
And just as a word of warning, always ask for parents' help.
Yes.
When you're doing this, because putting a pencil through a cork is kind of difficult. So having mom or dad help you is definitely something to ask help for.
And this is a fun art project to just do with the family. You can all show off who has the best art skills when it comes to splatter paint.
So Alina, for this one, you're gonna turn it on and then draw paint, right?
Yes, I am. So you're gonna see a little bit of a different design with that one. It was already pre-layered. This one, we're going to spin it and then throw paint on. And it causes a different layering effect. We're gonna go ahead and, where's my opening? There it is. We'll start at about medium. As you see, it's gonna start rotating slowly but surely. I did about medium right here. And let's do this one with green, gold, and why not, right? So it's spinning on the needle. Pour it paint slowly. And as it's spinning, it's slowly going to start to spread itself. Whoopsie. That's a great part about condiment bottles, that you either have great control or no control. It's all about creativity and getting messy, which is why we have our box.
The other thing, you know, just to really drive home the point here is you're almost creating an optical illusion, because as you drop paint on here, it looks like it's creating a big circle. But once we stop the spinning, you're actually going to see that it is not all connected, but it looks connected because the way your eyes stare at it make it want to be connected.
Let's see our hood come out. Let's throw some red in there. It's like shark themed right now. Give me my red. One other thing about acrylic paint, if you do decide to use it, please make sure you cap it, because it will dry nice and hard on the tip and be hard to get back out. Come on. Do a little blob. Oh, beautiful. And now let's see our beautiful project.
I know that in my office, I have one of these I made and I got to hang it up. We do these at the museum. So when the museum does reopen, we would love to see everybody there, and you can come down, and when we're doing this, we'd love to help you make one.
And here's our end result.
So Alina, can you keep it right there? One thing I want everybody to notice there, if you look at all the green, look at how it is all literally pushing out from the middle. It looks like a big sun. The red isn't doing that because when the blob hit it, it kind of just did one solid color. So based on how much paint you put down, we'll give you different designs. If you just want one color, you can just splash some paint in there. But if you want to create cool patterns like this, you're going to want to put it a little bit at a time.
Mm-hmm. And these are our two beautiful spin art projects. As you see, it's easy to do it at home, but please make sure you always have an adult before you start taking anything apart. And that's it. Thank you guys for joining me. If you have any questions, oh, sorry, Michael, you have questions?
No, you're okay. If you do have any questions, go ahead and write them in the chat. But thank you, Alina. That was absolutely amazing. So I see that I see Victoria, you have a CD. Do you have a spin art contraption or no?
Please show us with whatever you finish, because I want to see your awesome art projects too.
So the other thing you can do if you want to get a little bit messy with mom and dad is you can put the CD on top of a pencil too, and if you spin it while somebody drops paint on it, you can create the same, but make sure you talk to mom and dad first. This way you don't create a big mess.
There we go.
Those look great. And we have 4 of these at the museum that people absolutely love to do. And you can see based on that fan, it was white once. So it's definitely it's very painted. So we've done many, many, many of these projects. All right, well, we have a full lineup of programs today. Our next program is going to be story time, and that will be at noon. After that, I have to look at the schedule. We have slime at 1 o'clock, and then we have rainbow science at 2 o'clock.
Story time.
We're going to teach you how to make slime, different kinds of slime, actually 2 different kinds, and we'll show you many other kinds. And then during rainbow science, Brady's going to mystify our minds with, I got a mini box fan. is, I don't know if that one would work because of the way, if the top frame comes off of it and then you have to be able to mount it. If you look at Brady's screen right now, you can see how he has it laying flat. So you kind of need it to be laying flat so that you can then create a little attachment point right in the middle. And Brady, can you kind of zoom in on what our attachment point looks like, or show them once again what the, yeah, the CD one would be great.
Yeah, let's go over here because you can see the adapter.
That's
up
it.
here. So the normal point is just kind of this
little
needle point, but then for a CD, which you might have more of in old records,
a little opening right here.
yeah, a bottle cap glued to another CD and hopped on top. So that way whatever CD you're painting is hopped right on top of the bottle cap.
Like so.
Parents and grandparents might remember 45 adapters for the record player is a good metric for what that is.
Might work.
I'm just pulling something up real quick. So along with the email that we sent, we also sent the list of supplies to do this. So all in all, if you're buying the box fans are usually $20, and then everything else you're probably looking at like $40 just to be able to do this. And this is just on. And then you can go to the record store and find dollar records of old Christmas specials or whatever it may be, so that you can use them. Or even CDs are getting cheaper and cheaper by the day. You can buy big giant sleeves of them. So let's see the fan, Victoria. Can you stop it so I can? Okay. So you need something a little bit, yeah, you need something a little bit bigger coming off the center of the blade so that it'll hold the CD. Oh, yeah, it's not going to work that way. You got to put it's going to need the blade in there, or you can rig something up on the actual motor that will hold the CD, but it's got to hold it tightly so that it spins with the motor.
What's going to happen is if it's not tight, it's going to like wobble all over the place and look like it's going to fly off.
Yep.
You don't want that. You want it nice and stable so you have a beautiful art piece by the end. Or try
I respect the try. All right, so we just want to leave everybody again with the message. So Mods welcomes individuals from all walks of life to visit, experience, connect, and discover inspiring science. We support all family structures, creating a culture of hospitality where diversity is celebrated. Our doors are wide open to everyone. Individuals and families with physical and emotional disabilities and disparities in education, social, and economic status. We embrace our truly diverse community of various ethnicities, religions, gender identification, and sexual orientations. All are welcome here. Once again, we want to thank Bank of America as being our sponsor, and we'll see everybody for the next program. We will log in at 11:45 and we'll be ready to rock and roll at 12 for story time. And Alina, what's the name of the book?
Red, a crayon story.
Nice. All right, so we'll see everybody then. Until then, everybody say bye.
I'll see you then, guys. Bye.